Hey y'all, it's August the 20th, 2016.
And if you've been keeping up with my videos lately, you might already understand that what I want to dive into, my particular focus currently is narcissism. How that's bad, right? But the thing is, I'm going to have to go in at it indirectly right now. And also, before we start, narcissism, from what I'm viewing myself here in Big Spring, Texas, America, what I'm seeing is that it's becoming more widespread. It's becoming more common, and people, at least it seems, narcissism is reaching down into the little crevices of society. In kind of the same way autism is. Like, not everybody out there is autistic, right? For sure. But there's a lot of people out there who have autistic qualities about them simply because it's so prevalent in society. Right? That's exactly what I mean about narcissism. Right? It's an epidemic, kind of. Right? There's some people who are extremely narcissistic and are ruthless and will stop at nothing. There's shades of gray, though. There's shades of gray because, see, narcissism and autism, in many ways, they both stem from somebody, somewhere, attempting to deny reality. Alright, for whatever reason. Maybe it makes it easier for them to deny reality because maybe reality is so harsh, right, that they can't handle it. But the thing is, your brain is aware of what reality is, whether or not you want to admit it to yourself. Right? Okay, I bring all that up to bring this up. That's what we're here to talk about today. I believe a lot of this tension, the desire to not understand reality, I believe a lot of it is coming from the workplace. Right? Something I don't really talk too much about here on this channel, but the workplace. It's very important. I'm going to give an example real quick. Like, when I was little, growing up, I had a mom and a dad, right? They would come home, and each one of them, most of the time, would complain or bicker to one another about their day at work. Right? Me personally, I could never wrap my head around it. It was never interesting. Never was it interesting. It was never interesting. But I could tell that they would give a lot of attention and a lot of focus to what it is that happened to them at work that day. Me, I never found it interesting. Alright? For whatever reason, people like to get hung up on things at work. And when you do that, you eventually take it home. You bring it wherever with you. You take the dysfunction home. See, here's the thing about it. Here's what happens most of the time. You have a boss, right? A lot of people have what they call asshole bosses. Check this out. You're probably an asshole too. So am I. Alright? So we got to work around that. Alright? That's the thing. Their bosses get on their cases or whatever. Alright? Imagine the situation. The boss gets on the person's case because they're not working so good. Alright? The person gets mad at the boss. He's angry. Alright? Because he doesn't agree with the boss for whatever reason. And what he'll wind up doing is he'll take his anger and his sass or whatever, and he'll display it to somebody else who's not his boss. Here's the thing. If you had anger and sass, you display it to your boss. That's what I would call the healthy thing to do. Because you're appropriating your anger to the right place. You're angry at that person. They made a remark. You got angry from it. You tag them back. You don't go off and just tell everybody else that you're mad. Because, see, that will contribute to dysfunction. And I see this all the time. I hear it all the time. Right? First of all, I've seen bosses who aren't necessarily good at what they do. Secondly, and I've seen that all day. Secondly, I've seen employees who are all around terrible at what they do. Alright? And lots of times you'll hear them complaining or acting bad or maybe giving me some sass. Or I have nothing to do with it. But they misdirect their anger. And lots of times I noticed when I was a kid, you know, with my dad and my mom, if they came home and they had a bad day at work, guess what? I'm going to feel that. It's called misdirected anger. You have no reason to be angry with your child, but instead you're just angry because you have to, what you call vent. You had to vent, but you're not venting it in the appropriate place. Here's the reason, and everybody should probably already know this. You vent your anger towards your boss, chances are your boss is not going to be having it, and they'll let you go. And that's what we're dealing a lot with in society. Alright? The thing is, I maintain, and the Bible maintains, you want to make the change, you make the change from within. Alright, we all know the economy's bad right now. We all know, you know, it's hard getting that money. Here's the thing about it. Here's what I would suggest to all y'all out there. It's something I've been dabbling in, and it's a good idea. Unless you have your own kind of business, what you do is get 2 jobs. I'm talking about men. What you do is get 2 jobs. Alright, come up, save a little bit of money and stuff, have a cushion, then you can meet you a lady, because guess what? A lady's going to be a hole in your pocket regardless. Alright, a lady and then comes children, these are all major holes in your pocket. That's not to say that they're not blessings, because they are. But you'll need money at that point. You'll probably have to continue to have 2 jobs, and you're just going to have to live like that. But anyways, we'll get into that later. Here's what I want to discuss with you right now. So there's verses in the Bible. And I was reading one verse the other day and I couldn't have to find it again, come across it again. But for example, Deuteronomy chapter 15, verse 12 through 15. Ephesians chapter 6, verse 9. Colossians 4, verse 1. Alright, and there was another verse that I was reading about, and it was covering slavery. Alright, let's think about it. Everybody cringes when they hear the word slavery from back in the day, and we're talking about back in the American day, because there's people who still have slavery, believe it or not, right now. But anyways, the Bible covers slavery. A lot of people think that that's the Bible condoning slavery. The Bible doesn't condone anything except reality. And the reality was, slavery's been around since forever. Right? And it is still around in some places. Very much so. But the Bible covers slavery in a way that's like, guess what? You can be a master, or you can be a slave. Either way, you're answering to me, baby. The one and only God, alright? So either way, you're answering to me. So if you have an agreement, it's basically slavery, regardless of, you know what I'm saying, how much I disagree with it. Slavery was agreements. There was agreements between men, and this involved their word. Alright, you make an agreement, this is my slave, this is what I'm going to do with the slave, and this and that and the other. Get that squared away, here's money. There's an agreement made. Right? And if you go against that agreement, whether you're the slave or the master, it really doesn't matter. If you go against the agreement that was made, you're going against God. Right? So you need to fear God regardless. Right? A lot of people run around, these kids these days, talking about, oh, he told me to do this and that. Oh, man, I'm thinking about quitting and stuff like that. You know what? Oh, you never read the Bible. But you've never been told to read the Bible. You've never been told why you should read the Bible. It's because it's full of success. You are suffering failure right now. It doesn't matter what your master. Because here's the thing about it. We're in modern day slavery. Regardless. We don't even, a lot of times, have it as good as slaves did. Certain slaves. Right? Lots of times, we're just as much in poverty these days. Alright, so you have to learn to do what you're told. Alright, and you also have to find a master, or what you would call a boss or a manager, who knows what the fuck they're doing, who can take you places. And who can stick to their word as far as agreements go. Right, and chances are you're going to have to get 2 jobs in order to get that money. I mean, you can't go around chasing ladies. I mean, ladies are an afterthought. What you need to do is get that money. You need to have 2 jobs. You need to get a job as soon as possible. I tell children all the time, as soon as they can work their thumbs, you need to get a job or something. You need to get some money. Right, because the economy is terrible. You ain't never going to have a car unless you have a job right now. Alright, so it's something to think about. The Bible does have all the answers. You need to change from within you, just like I need to change from within me if I want to change the world. At all. Where you start is from within you. And you make the world better. And see, the whole reason why we're discussing that right there is because that's narcissism in reverse. When you're talking about the extreme of narcissism is you're willing to do anything to this person to make you seem good, even though you're not. You're like a vacuum. And so you need this person over here to be your rescuer and to make you feel all good, protected and stuff. And that person's the worst person in the world. And he needs to change or whatever, because or the world is not going to get better. Over here on the reverse of narcissism, you would have a person who is more than a person. His named Jesus Christ. And he changed from within himself. In fact, he never changed really. It's just the thing is, he changed the world by letting his inside out into the world. And that changed it. You need to reach inside you, change yourself if you want the world to change. And a lot of people have been saying that. Michael Jackson said that. Alright? You have to reach, and that right there is the complete opposite of narcissism. So if we wanted to combat narcissism, what we would have to do is sincerely understand reality. Understand that we are in modern day slavery. And there is ways to pull yourself out, especially here in the United States of America, especially if you try to make it great again. I just saw Donald Trump speak. Here's the thing about it. Dude, I don't care. You can take Donald Trump's face off. You can take his voice off. You can have someone else read exactly what it is Donald Trump just said in the rally in that North Carolina. And it'll give you chills. It is historical regardless of who said it. Right? You understand reality. You understand, okay, as you are a modern day slave, so you do have to listen to the Bible in order to know what's right and wrong. Right? In order to be successful. Probably don't have to get 2 jobs instead. Probably gonna have to work every day your whole life, kind of like I do. It is a tribulation. It's bad, it's gonna get worse. It will. It's August the 20th, 2016.